And we're back.
Hello, Mitchell.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm thinking.
Don't think.
No, I
Thinking's
do think, man. I think.
Have you got anything fun to tell me?
Man, did you see? I'm not sure if you heard on the radio. Did you listen to radio at work or anything?
Sometimes, yeah.
Did you hear about the Monash Freeway this morning?
Yes, I did hear about that.
Why on anyone's God green earth would you ever go on any of the freeways around Melbourne to go to work?
Yeah, exactly.
So there was
unavoidable.
a B-double truck crashed into another truck
Yeah.
with two cars wedged in between the two crashed together trucks.
Sucks to be them.
Everyone's all good, but they had to fully close the freeway on the way
Jesus.
in. And this is after a Point Cook man, which is Australia's Florida man, has crashed.
It's true. You need to do a meme thing like
Point
Cook man.
Yeah, it's always a Point Cook man.
Yeah.
And the Point Cook bend is always where the crashes happen. And the West is oh my god, man. I couldn't think. No wonder people go crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's...
Couldn't think of anything worse.
I'm glad, like...
If you're listening to this sitting on the Monash in the morning...
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Find something else to do.
Yeah, I leave for work at 5:30 and I start at 6 and it takes me 10 minutes to get there, but I leave early just in case the traffic's bad. But like, I get there early, make a coffee and that sort of stuff and fire everything up. Make a cuppa. But I couldn't think of anything worse than having to sit on the Monash for ages.
Yeah. I love where I live. I don't see a drop of traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless I come this way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for you coming here, probably sucks. But
it's not too bad, but
but you can just deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Deal with it.
It's not every day.
Yeah, exactly. It should be. You should come here every single day.
And just do like a daily...
I should ignore the family every single night and just, you should come here every day and do the podcast. It'd be fun.
Well, I do notice you have a really bad habit of saying, let's do the podcast on nights where I'm riding BMX. You always do it.
Maybe it's because you ride just about every night.
Well, I've been riding a lot, man.
Exactly.
I've been riding a lot.
Every time I message you, go, oh, I'm riding. I'm like, yeah, you ride every night. So,
yeah. Man, I had a big weekend of riding too.
Did you? Good.
So I worked on Saturday morning, then went and rode Hillendale box jumps.
Yep.
Then I went from there to my mate's factory.
Yeah.
And he's got this crazy setup.
Is that? I think you showed me a video.
Yeah.
Like
so he's got like
setup. Yeah.
You just bombing off the road.
Yeah.
He's got a box set up and then like a big quarter on the wall.
Yeah.
And then he's got like a spine set up as well.
Yeah.
All in his factory, and he's got like an R35 GTR. And
that's awesome. You would have loved it when I had my
insane.
shop. If you were riding BMX when I had my shop. And
he's got a mini ramp, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a big spine ramp.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it was awesome. And some of the sessions that went down there, like, because with Pete and Lukey and a few others and that sort of stuff, like the sessions that went down there were just insane. It was so good, and it was heaps of fun. But these things happen.
Yeah, that's it.
You
got to.
Although Hayley was pinging me today with messages about a house that she wants to get. It's in Upper Beaconsfield on like 2 acres. I'm looking at it, I'm like, could build a massive barn, and the boys are obsessed with BMX these days, so build some ramps to actually do it. And trails on the property as well. And I took the boys down to Beaconsfield Skate Park the other day, and Max is like hitting, that little hit made out of the orange slice. He's hitting that, and he's jumping like 8 inches off the ground. He's like, "Oh, I'm getting really good at BMX." I'm like, "No, relax a little bit. I am proud of you. You're doing really good." Yeah. But, he's absolutely loving it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool seeing kids progress so fast.
They really
insane.
do. And he's getting like a good style. Like he actually looks comfortable on the bike. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I'd hate if he was like full pencil, like
knees out,
back, knees out, and riding goofy footed. He's not goofy footed too, so that's a bonus.
That's the thing I know. I reckon a lot of guys that like I don't do tricks or anything, but I do notice like a lot of guys that do like a lot of whips and a lot of bar spins always ride with their knees out.
Yeah, I think I talk with my brother about this a lot because he was a gun BMXer back in the day and that sort of stuff. I think. Kids these days, I sound like such an old arsehole when I say that, but...
we used to walk uphill both ways and had fucking 15 kilo bikes.
Exactly. Well, 15 kilos. Our bikes used to weigh 20, 22 kilos and that sort of stuff.
Brutal,
we used to run, like, a normal tyre with another tyre with the bead cut off inside the tyre and thorn-proof tubes because you used to get pinch flats all the time because you had such a heavy bike. When you cased on something, you get pinch flats. And we'd run, like, a 44-tooth front, 16-tooth rear. We used to ride 415-pitch motorbike chains on our bikes and that sort of stuff with like a Haro grind disc.
Just bomb-proof.
Bikes, they were just... But the funny thing is we kept breaking things all the time.
Yeah. Bikes are so unbelievably
I snapped maybe 3 or 4 pairs of cranks, like primo cranks and profile cranks and that sort of stuff. Like, I built like a Wombat. I used to 180 off things, but just breaking frames and stuff. I remember Pete set up a new bike when we were younger. He was sponsored by Haro at that time. They sent over this brand new. Because they had the normal Haro frames that you can buy. Then for all the factory riders, they had proper built ones.
Yeah.
And they sent one over, and that's when Pete was learning bike flips. You know, he jumped and do a bike flip and jump back on. He was learning that. And he set it up. We went to the skate park, dropped in, tried to do a bike flip, landed on the bike on the side, and just bent the bike clean in half, like just because Pete's 90 kilos or something as well. Just landed on it and just bent it in half. And but bikes were just garbage. I remember, like, do you remember? This is all probably long before you were riding BMX, but Haro Mega Hubs. They were like a hub in the middle, and it had bolts that went in from the side as the axle bolts, instead of having a solid axle the whole way through. They were like, oh, it's really strong. And I remember we went to the skate park, and Pete was just shearing axle bolts left and right. And because he was riding for Haro, that was their sort of premium hub. He had to run that. Yeah. And it was just ridiculous. He'd just like carry like a bag of spare axle bolts. It was ridiculous. But
because I sort of got in. When did I start riding like properly? I started riding when I was probably 12, so it's like 2002.
Yeah. So that's around the time when we started really travelling for
Stuff
BMX.
started to go like a bit more noose, like...
Yeah, because I think I started riding BMX probably... My first decent BMX was in 1997.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd sort of been riding for probably 5 years or so by the time you did that. And, like, BMX bikes just used to be horrible. And brands would come out and you go, oh, it's meant to be the latest and greatest thing. I don't know if it still exists, the brand Snafu. Does it exist? It's...
Yeah, it is. They do everything jet fuel. Like
it was absolute garbage when it came out, but it was so expensive. I remember they brought out these pedals that they were like, in like 2002, 2003, they were like $130 for a pair of pedals. Yeah. And they said they were indestructible. And we used to do lots of like crooked grinds and pedal grinds on rails and ledges and that sort of stuff. And you do like a pedal grind instead of doing because we used to run just pegs on one side. You do like a feeble grind on the other side just on your pedal. And I remember I got some of these pedals and I rode for about a week or so and they did a pedal grind and they just sheared in half. They literally just exploded. And I remember I got the Snafu levers and a pair of levers was like $120.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember, because I always had my brakes set up pretty tight because I squeezed them pretty hard. And I remember I squeezed it and it just broke in half.
You got like death grip strength.
Yeah, but even besides that, like...
They're just a murderer. I'm surprised you don't fold your rims in half.
but I've never... broken any other levers. No. That's the thing. Like it just
the old Goldfinger.
Yeah, you'd think the cable would break before the lever.
Yeah.
But they were just crap, and there was just so many garbage brands out there. Like bike parts used to be so bad. And I remember we were running because back then you only had threaded on hubs that had the threaded on freewheel. There was no cassette hubs or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
And you'd pedal hard at something and you'd just explode a freewheel, and it would just go everywhere, and you'd smash your knees into the stem and go over the bars, and oh god, like the amount of pairs of forks that I broke and shearing handlebars off and stuff, it was dangerous. I don't know how anyone who rode BMX in the 90s and early 2000s survived.
But you can see how like shops survived.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why shops are struggling so bad.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you broke a frame, local shop, it's $1,000 for a crappy frame that's gonna snap. But what do? You can't make another one out of wood.
And you just you just go in and spend like decent money and just get S&M parts and you're good and you're rolling.
Exactly, but even garbage bikes, like cheap entry level bikes now, like you buy a complete bike for like $400 or $500, you can ride it for ages, like realistically.
Man, I was in
like I probably couldn't because I'm a Wombat, I'd break it.
I was in Casey Cycles with Dale and I'm like, dude, you got to get into bikes, and he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, why don't you just build one? Just build like this by S&M, build it. And he's like, man, check this out. And he showed me a Sunday Gary Young.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing is sick.
Yeah.
A complete, and it's got like Odyssey Thunderbolt cranks in it that you get a lifetime warranty with them.
Oh, really?
Like a lifetime warranty on the cranks that come stock.
I used to break profile cranks, and they were like, I remember in like 2000, 2001, they were like $380 for a pair of cranks. And I'd break some, and they said they had lifetime warranty. They go, oh, but you must have abused them. I'm like, just because I'm a...
Just because what? Just because when they broke, I yelled them a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so I got the Profile SS cranks. And I remember they were like $550. I was earning like $300 a week back then.
That's crazy,
so that's like, that'd be like $2,000 for a set of cranks.
Yeah.
And you get them. And then they lasted like 8 months and then they broke. It was just ridiculous. But it was so much fun. But I remember when BMX parts started actually getting good. You know who I reckon? I don't know if it even exists. Does McNeil even exist as a company anymore?
I don't know. I don't see much McNeil stuff
Because
anymore.
when McNeil came out, because that's Jay Miron's company, when McNeil came out...
It probably does exist.
Yeah, when it started, they were sort of the start... Like, S&M was always awesome, but S&M was just insanely expensive in Australia back then. Like, S&M and Standard, you know, I've said here, I'd love a Standard 125R frame or something.
Man, I was down at Empire, and it was literally like all... like mid-school dudes that just everyone did,
awesome.
It was crazy. Everyone was riding an S&M, or everyone had a there was like a couple of standards, and then everything else was S&M.
Standards were just awesome. They were just indestructible. This is a full BMX podcast. That's awesome.
It is, yeah. Well, that's what you get on Sad Party. You get a bit of everything.
And so we like couldn't afford anything like that. But then McNeil came out. It must have been, I think, probably 2000, 2001 that McNeil started. And it was like, oh, you can actually get, like, it was made in Thailand or Taiwan or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like they had some sort of quality control.
And they were the first to do the integrated headset. Because you used to have, remember the stupid headset cups you had to push into the frame and then you put the balls in there? And they were terrible. Like, you'd ovalize a frame and you go, oh, I got to get a new frame now. But they were the first ones to do that.
I forgot about that. You had to...
McNeil started that pivotal seat post. Like, I think all seats.
That's right. That was the one thing everyone had, a McNeil seat and post. Exactly. Everyone had it.
And I remember I always wanted a Thompson Elite seat post. They were an aluminium seat post that was like super, super light. I remember we went through, it was probably around 2000, 2001, everyone started making their bikes lighter and lighter. We were doing things with like drilling the levers to make them lighter and that sort of stuff. It was so cool. And had like titanium axles and stuff. And it was so awesome. But because the bikes were getting lighter, when you did bail and the bike had a big tumble or whatever, it didn't bust itself because it wasn't like a car hitting something. It just bounced.
Yeah, and then Spanish brackets, bottom brackets came in.
I remember that made
They were shocking though.
They were the threaded ones, weren't they?
No, the bottom bracket, just the Spanish, the size, they were tiny.
Okay, because
my
I'm trying to remember because I think they had
Sputnik had it.
Yeah, they had threaded bottom brackets at one stage.
Yeah,
and that because we used to do crooked grinds and there was one grind I don't know if it's even done these days. It's called a Derek Duster grind. It was on the bottom bracket, so it was like back peg and bottom bracket, and your front wheel just hung over the rail, and so you do that and it just folded bottom brackets. But McNeil they were the first ones to do like a good integrated grind disc because the Haro grind disc was like a big aluminium plate that bolted to the side of a sprocket.
Oh yeah.
But then McNeil started doing these integrated ones, and they started pioneering like the 36 tooth sprockets and stuff. Like they were just awesome.
Starting to get it smaller.
Yeah, we really should one day actually sit down and watch some old BMX videos. There's some videos that I know you wouldn't have seen from like the 90s and that sort of stuff that are actually good.
Man, if we do that, we have to get my mate Mike in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing your joint one day or something like that.
Did you meet him at the shed?
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
He's like your doppelganger.
Yeah.
I rode with him at Empire.
Yeah.
He's so good. I love that dude.
Yeah, it's so good because here's the family. Hello, kidlets.
Hello.
Hello, Wes.
Ninja Warriors.
The family's just got home.
Oh, should we pause this?
We'll say hello to them first. What's that, Max?
We watched Ninja Warrior, but we had to stop it because there was no signal.
We're recording right now. You gonna say hi?
Hi.
Did you have fun at Ninja?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll pause this and we might start it again.
Yeah, we'll continue it on.
Alright, sounds good. And we're rolling again.
We're back.
We are back.
In the dungeon.
Of course, this microphone's turned off because...
Is mine turned on?
Yours is turned on, yeah. Turned off because the kids came in and decided to start playing with it and that sort of stuff. But
oh yes.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a hiatus and had some dinner.
Back to the dungeon. Yeah. Good tuna fish
And,
casserole. It's quite delicious.
Kids being a little bit special, and Mitch had his high vis vest on when he first got here because he'd been at work. And my oldest said to him, "Hey, how come you wear a lollipop lady's shirt?" So I thought that was pretty good.
Oh man, that was pretty brutal.
Brutal, but very accurate.
So yeah, we were talking about BMX.
Yes, we were talking about BMX. Yeah, old school BMX, like, there's old BMX videos, Standard Country and a couple of things like that. They're just from like the late 90s, early 2000s. They're not quite as old as the old Matt Hoffman videos. Have you ever seen Mad Matt and Head First and stuff?
Nah, maybe like way back in the day.
They were awesome, but they were like very 80s and early 90s. But all the mid-school stuff, like the late 90s, early 2000s, the writing is phenomenal. Like the things they do...
Yeah.
What you should watch on, I think it's on Red Bull TV actually. There's It's called The Best Bits of Baco. Baco is a video series from America. Dave Frymouth and Chad DeGroot, two like good mid-school BMXers, they made this video series. It's like 10 videos. But they did a documentary detailing all the best bits from the 10 videos.
Yeah.
And it's insane. Like Dave Frymouth, like 20 years ago, there's like a back rail behind a quarter and he's like 270 out to like over ice pick on the back rail to like 270 back in. Like it's just insane. Like it's the sort of stuff that now would be a comp winning trick and he was doing it 20 years ago. So
yeah,
it's just crazy, but BMX is awesome. I do miss riding BMX, so I might have to start pedaling again. Like, I've actually got my bike back together, so I probably should ride it.
The only reason I ever started riding properly is because I was riding like whatever like my parents would get me or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was really into footy when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And I was in the footy competition, like the footy tipping competition as a 12-year-old at the local supermarket in Club 2. And I won like $500.
Oh, Jesus.
And I went down to, there was a bike shop in Emerald back in the day.
Yeah.
And I bought a Specialized Fat Boy Vegas.
I had a Fat Boy Vegas TJ. The gold, was yours the gold one?
It was like a sort of like a gunmetal grey with like gold and bronze looking stuff on it.
Yeah, I had one of those. Yeah. It was awesome.
So that was like my first real like bike that I had. It was sick.
That was so good.
This is Sesh Cocktail Bowl.
It's funny, but like you look back now, those bikes were garbage, but it didn't matter. It was your bike. It was like, just so cool.
Oh, compared to anything else I was riding, it's just next level.
Exactly. But compared to anything you can get now, it's just like,
it's just not even.
Yeah, kids wouldn't even be able to ride it.
Max's Academy, and like it's just unbelievable.
Well, it's like when you give me grief about my handlebar size. Like my handlebars are like by modern terms small, but they're like 4 inches wider than what I was used to. We used to run like these.
Everything cut
I think
down.
It was Odyssey milk bars, they were called, and they were really tiny. And then we'd cut them down and we'd bend the levers because you have the lever halfway down the curve, so you'd bend the lever out so you could still use the brakes.
Because that was just bar spins were all anyone.
Yeah, bar spins were just everything. Everyone just did bar spins everywhere. It was so good.
And everyone ran their seat high so you could pinch the seat.
Yeah, exactly. And my mate Bruiser, he actually ran a true exercise bike seat on his BMX because the exercise bike seat came out really wide. He was able to lean back. Because he was doing triple bar spins. And I remember he was trying to send for quad bar spins over the box in Cranbourne at Marinda Park. And he goes, I'm just not going to grab the bars until they've done 4 spins. So he just hit the box and just send it and just go, and just lift his arms back. And he was getting like 3.5 and just wouldn't put his hands on the bars. Just land his hands off and blow off the back of the bike. But that's just what we did.
That's all everyone did, yeah.
It was so good.
See, I think I ran those, I can't remember what frame I was running, but I had those at one point. It was after the Specialized, after the Fat Boy. I was running something and I had those 4-piece Nyquist Haro bars.
Yeah.
That was
I remember those.
I ran them.
Haro Knee Slammer 2s.
Is that what they were?
I think
No, they were the full Nyquist signature ones. They had like the bottom. Then
I know the ones you mean, but
they weren't like the full crazy ones. They were just like a 4-piece bar that was just chrome cut down.
Yeah, I'm sure I remember them, but
gross.
It's
compared to what I ride now, compared to what I rode back then, it's just insane.
It's so funny. Like I remember my first good bike in 1997 was a Mongoose DMC. And it was so awesome. And every bike back then was chrome. Like, no one had a painted bike. So I had this chrome Mongoose DMC. And I remember I snapped the frame after probably about 6 months or something like that. And got a new one under warranty. And then we ended up buying, like, some guys from Cranbourne, guys who used to ride the shed in the late 90s. A couple of them rode for Hoffman and things like that. And I remember me and my brother would buy their second-hand frames. Like, when they were all hacked out, you'd buy a second-hand Hoffman Condor frame for like $250, and we cherished it like gold. Like that was the best thing ever. Like when I started my apprenticeship, I was like 15. I was getting $200 a week, and like I was saying before, like you snap a pair of cranks, it's $350. That's 200. I was earning $200 a week. Still had to travel to work and back on the train. Still was paying board and things like that. So that was like a month's worth of leftover money for a pair of cranks. So when I got a frame, like. My mate Jason, who he's an older guy. He's probably, I think he's about 10 years older than me, and he is an amazing rider. He was always like the one that we looked up to when we were kids. Yeah. And I remember once we were sort of old enough, and because Pete was a lot better than me on a BMX, like he got really good, so people were aware of Pete because he was like 13. He was doing crazy stuff, and we started riding with Jason and his mate Justin and that sort of stuff, and they're just awesome dudes. And we learned all this stuff, and I remember talking about it, we'd be riding with them and they're like, oh, you need to watch Mad Matt, you need to watch Head First and Ride On and all these old BMX videos from the 80s.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff that they grew up watching. Like when we were there, when they were our age, they were watching those things. And it's like a generational thing. It's like how, even though me and you, we're only a few years apart in age, like 6 years apart in age.
We're in a different
It's in a different generation of BMX. Because you're riding now, where I stopped riding 10, 12 years ago.
Because I remember when I used to ride at in Cockatoo and stuff, we used to always ride with Michael and Dean Manson.
Yeah.
But then you would see Chris would come out and he was older than them and he would have the most fucked up looking bike. And like, how do you ride that thing? 4 pegs, like all this crazy shit.
But it's just like...
And he's only 3 years older than us dudes or whatever.
Yeah. But at the time, 3 years, when you're 15, 3 years is a fifth of your life. It's like how I talk about with the kids, like... I'll talk to Max about stuff and he's like, oh, we should go to New Zealand because he saw a video of New Zealand. I go, oh, we might go next year. He's like, a year? And I'm like, well, settle down. And I'm like, well, he's 6. It's like 16% of his life.
Yeah,
like
another,
another big chunk of life where for me, a year, like I'm 36, 3%. Like, so what?
Yeah,
a year. It's like, you go, oh, yeah, I'll go to work a couple of times. Oh, it's been a year. Like, it's just...
It does fly, man. It goes quick, doesn't it?
Exactly. So I think because I'm of a generation before you when it comes to when I was riding BMX and things like that, that's why I want to show you. There's certain videos. There's a lot of videos that I wouldn't bother showing you because they're just kind of boring.
Yeah.
But there's certain ones like, have you ever seen Criminal Mischief?
No.
Oh, anyone who is my age that rode BMX and heard you say you haven't seen Criminal Mischief, they'd want to stab you.
I would be in Criminal Mischief.
Exactly. And like the old ones like that.
There you go. There's a McNeil Seaton post camera right there.
That's that frame's a Colony MVP. That's one of Colony's first signature frames. That was Dave Fryman's signature frame. And they only made them in 21-inch, but Clint made me a special one in 20.75. So that's like a one-off frame.
That's sick.
It's so cool because they still do a bit of filming for them. And that's, God, I've even forgot. It's got like Primo brake calipers and stuff and We the People cranks. Like, I don't even know if We the People's around anymore.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But that bike, it's just awesome. I got the KHE Rolex Free Coaster Hub. God, people who aren't into BMX would be hating this podcast, but I don't care. If you're into BMX, you can eat a dick. I really don't
We'll
care.
have to do bike checks or something.
I think so. I reckon we should. And that bike over there, that's missing everything. It's just a unicycle.
You idiot.
But it's just fun. But yeah, old school BMX was just like there's certain BMX videos like Standard Country. I remember watching that. And just being so blown away by the tricks that people were doing. They were doing riding street, and if I watch it now, you go, they're doing like Smith grinds on like foot high ledges. But I remember watching it. Oh, this is awesome! And this guy Lucky, he rode for Standard. He was the first person I ever saw with a free coaster.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him like rolling fakie and then hopping from a fakie up to a fakie Smith grind, then back off to fakie.
And you would have just thought, is he not got a chain on?
I didn't know what was going on, and I remember talking to my mate Jason. He goes, "Yeah, it's a free coaster." And what they used to do back then, because there was no such thing as free coasters, they were foot brake hubs. They'd pull them apart and pull the brake shoes out of the inside of the hub, so it was like a coaster brake hub that they'd pulled apart to do that. And there's a video called
yuck, a coaster brake hub.
Yeah, it was terrible. You'd pedal forward like half a revolution and then it would engage. There's a video that I've got called, I can't remember what it's called, Temperamental. Not temperamental, Temperamental.
Yeah, like Temper mattresses.
This guy, Rob Ridge from England, he was like on a mini ramp, just do like a nose pick, triple tail whip, and then hop in. And like, he actually had, he probably still does it now. He'd be probably pushing 50 now. And he had most dialed bike with a block of 2x4 wood screwed to the bottom of the bottom bracket, and that was his bash plate sort of thing. So he'd do like tricks on a spine ramp, like nose pick tail, and then drop to balance on that, and then 180 off and things like that. But there was just so many different things that got done. People just did things like that. And
that's ridiculous.
Rick Moliterno, who started Standard Bikes, he was running, I think he might even still run foot brakes, like foot coaster brakes on modern BMX bikes. He'd do things like
Where did you get a foot brake hub?
He owns Standard Bikes. He probably just made them. Yeah. But I remember he'd do things like he'd do like a tail tap on the deck of a ramp and lock the brakes on and just like spin the bars and just in a tail tap just balancing. We're doing like 7 bar spins, then grab the bars and hop in and do you know what an abubica is?
Yeah.
Yeah, like an abubica, like up on the back wheel and the coping and jumping backwards. He'd do like abubica bar spins and things like that. So he's balancing on the coping.
Oh.
But I remember watching it and go, oh, this is awesome. And I remember at one stage I wanted to get foot brakes so I could try things. But I don't know, BMX was cool because everyone, it wasn't actually cool at all back then, where now BMX is kind of cool. But back then it was sort of, I think people thought it was a
bunch
bit
of
daunting.
misfits.
Skaters hated BMX riders and
They
that
still
sort of
do.
stuff.
They still do.
Yeah, but
It's nowhere near as bad
it
as
was
it used to be.
militant hate of BMXs because we'd wreck the ramps with pegs and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's your fault for running.
yeah, I remember my mate Jake, who I ride moto with these days. Jake would do sprocket stalls. Like sprocket stalls and sprocket grinds were big things, and he would air on a mini ramp. He'd launch like 3 or 4 feet in the air and then land on his sprocket on the coping and just like dent the coping big time. But he would just see how high he would launch to a sprocket stall.
Yeah.
It was just what we did. And I remember when
they call it a disaster now because the sprockets aren't 44 teeth.
exactly. And like when I remember when everyone was trying to learn flips, like we had like a quarter pipe that we'd put in the back of a ute or my van or whatever, I had a hiace van, and you'd be driving around, you'd see like a crappy pile of mulch that's like 2 foot high,
Just pedal into it.
and just go, oh, we'll just set the kicker up in front of that, and everyone's trying to learn flips off like a 4 foot ramp. 4 or 5 foot ramp onto a 2 foot pile of really compacted, crappy mulch. And like in our old BMX videos that we made, there's a clip of my mate Phil like trying to flip off the ramp and like bails and lands on his head and knocks himself out. Like, but it's just there was no foam pit. Like
Yeah, you didn't. No indoor.
when
parks
hard rubbish collection would happen, we'd go find mattresses and drag mattresses to the skate park from all over Maroondah Park and pile them up on the ramp so you could try things. And like I was never that good, but we were trying like. You'd try like a 540 fly out or something like that, and you'd try it onto the mattress, and it was probably worse than just landing. Yeah, but
anyway,
but it's just what we did. And I remember just doing stuff like we'd be riding on the mini ramp, and my mate Bruiser was good at this. He'd always just huck things to flat, and you'd do like a deck manual or pop out onto the deck, and then just 180 off the deck just to flat in the middle of the mini ramp. And you just break everything. You just go, oh, it's just what we do. You just tried everything. I remember breaking a pair of cranks, 180ing off the train station platform onto the tracks and just break a pair of cranks and you go, oh, this is awesome. Worst part was having to like scoot home with like busted cranks. So, I don't know, well, this has been a good BMX podcast. We've done like half an hour of talking about Ninja Warrior and BMX. So
yeah, we probably have to get yours out at some point. You just need to come ride. Like, it's just so...
It's just, like I was never that good anyway, but not having ridden for like 12 or 13 years, I hop on now. And it just feels embarrassingly uncomfortable. But I don't care.
That's like when I started riding like 5 months ago, that's how I felt. But you just need to like, you just ride through it. And even still, like every time I ride, like literally every time, like I still don't ever feel comfortable straight away. Like it takes a while to get going.
Like that bike's been through a flood. Like when my folks' house flooded out, like I'd left my bike there and...
Is that why you have it up? Just in
case? It's why I have it up just in case there's floods here. But nah, like that's been through flood water and that sort of stuff. And it's just... I don't know, it's just a cool bike. I like it.
I mean, it's cool. It's a one-off frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the old school Colony sticker on it, like the star.
Like that's. I'm talking like OG Colony stuff. Like, geez, I'm gonna have to send this episode to Clint because like Clint would be all for the fact that I'm still rocking that frame. I reckon it's just
that's
so old. So Clint, if you're listening, I'm still representing for you. Even though the bike's been sitting there hanging on the wall for like 12 years, I'm gonna get it out and ride it because I actually put my back wheel in it. So, it'll be fun. Yeah. I always
your stupid dumb brother still has his wheel back but doesn't seem to want to ride anymore. I nag him every...
It's just his knees. His knees are disgusting. His knees keep popping out and that sort of stuff. So and BMX is so bad on your knees, but that bike's cool. Like I think I should just go like lean into it and just go back to just no brakes and 4 pegs again and just start trying to ride street. I wouldn't even be able to bunny hop up a gutter these days. It's been that long.
Yeah, you'd be alright. I think even like when we were riding the other day, you just had 2 PSI in your tyres. So.
Yeah, and it was really awkward with 2 PSI.
But at least it was Pete's wheel that you were dinging on everything.
Yeah, so exactly.
You'll never ride again.
You never paid for bike parts anyway. He hadn't paid for bike parts since he was like 13. So. Oh, I don't know.
So I'll just keep nagging him. We'll get him out one day.
Yeah.
He won't come.
You'll like it.
He likes to, every time I put anything up on social media about BMX, he always likes to comment #fuck BMX. That's what he... So now I'm getting him back. Everything he puts up, I just say, fuck 4-wheel drives and fuck roofing.
Yeah, exactly. He's got personalised number plates on his 4-wheel drive. It's Ride BMX, like RDE BMX. But what's funny is that can also be Road BMX.
Oh shit! Speaking of Road BMX, I'm gonna try. I think that I'm gonna try hire a bike and do that. You know that around the bay.
Road
cycle race.
Yuck!
Yeah, I know.
Do it on your BMX.
It's like 300k, isn't
Be
it?
the only person that does it on a BMX. It'd seriously be the worst. You'd have to pull out, but everyone would do it on a BMX, put sad party stickers on your bike, so that way everyone sees
Everyone
it.
knows.
Yeah.
Well, I could probably go, like, if I put a 33.9,
I might have a 44 tooth front sprocket.
I'm not running that with a 9-tooth driver.
What's mine got? I got 25.9, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25.9 would be pure death.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
exactly. I remember, I think he was running 33.10, like for normal BMX. Like he had it geared tall because he would just crank at things at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
It's pretty much 39.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He'd just crank at things flat out, and it's just made it work.
So I think I might actually get a road cycle if I'm going to do 300k's.
Yeah, it's probably better off. I'd rather do it on a motorbike. It'd be much easier.
Way easier.
In a car. I'll fly over there and just meet
You got
you
a
there.
bus? You got a bus I can sit on?
I'll just fly over there and meet you there. We'll just put your bike in, like, once you get to near Moorabbin area, we'll chuck the bike in the plane and just fly across and go, I beat you on my BMX.
So it's like 300k's or something. It's a long ride. But I don't know how fast you have to go to do it in a day. Like what sort of speed do you do on a road bike?
30 k's an hour. You'd average at least 30, so that's 10 hours. So you could do, I remember when I had a mountain bike, I'd sit on 50 k's an hour, 60 k's an hour, and that sort of stuff.
Like a road bike.
Road bike, yeah. So you'd probably do it. Probably be a 6 or 7 hour session, I reckon, because you've got to deal with some hills, and hills you're not going to be going up as fast.
Yeah, but I think the thing said it was pretty flat. But I think because I did that stupid running race against Puff and Billy, now I think I want to do the dumb road bike thing.
I should do Tough Mudder. That'd be fun. That'd be the worst.
Do it with Brad.
I'm just not fit enough. I just stand there and go, ugh. I don't know.
You just eat like a big leg of chicken and then go mud and just eat.
But, I don't know. I think that sort of stuff. It's good, and I think what's good about it is because you're an idiot, you wouldn't train for it.
And I wouldn't quit.
Yeah, you wouldn't train because
So I've got like
you're one of the most stubborn people I know. I know you wouldn't quit. You'd be like pedaling, you'd be dying. You'd be like, nah.
Nothing bothers me. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like nothing really bothers me. Like if I face it, like nothing really bothers me. But if it's like a physical thing and I like have to keep going, I'll just keep going. I will not stop.
Exactly. It's just I think you should do it definitely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna talk to Dale at Casey Cycles and try to get a bike going.
I'm sure
he'd have some or someone. He'd know someone that I could borrow. I don't care. It doesn't have to fit me or whatever. I'll just ride
He'd hook
whatever.
you up something. We need to go ride downhill again. That was fun when we were going to Listerfield those times.
Yeah, I'd like to do it on a proper bike.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, I was in the shop with Dale, and he's like, if you ever want to ride mountain bikes or downhill bikes, I can get one for you if you want to ride.
I think we should do that. We should do it and film it, because it'd be fun.
Yeah.
It
Do some stunts, do some drop-offs. And
yeah, sad party downhill session.
Have you still got that downhill bike?
It's Pete's. So
he'll never ride it.
But it's hard because it's an XL frame and I have XS legs, so extra small legs on an XL frame. That's why. Like,
but we're not pedaling up the hill. We're
just jumping. The seat just kicks me in the ass. I had the seat slammed on it, and I still
cut the post down.
No, like I'm talking slammed, like on the frame, and
did you cut the frame down?
Yeah, I turned it into a scooter.
Could you cut the frame down?
Nah. No, I looked at that. I didn't think about that. But no, I'd gladly borrow that again. That was so much fun. Yeah. I just had fun just hitting little jumps and doing little kick-outs and just, like, treating it like a dirt bike. Like, really did just treat it like a dirt bike.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad on my hardtail, but it was a bit shit.
It'd be a bit harder, yeah.
And the gearing on that, I think that runs like a 28.9 or something on a mountain bike. So it's just like, you're pedaling out of your heart and mind to go 20 k's an hour. What
I enjoyed about it is, I'd never ridden downhill before, and we were getting along at a fair clip on some of those downhills.
Yeah,
we're doing pretty good. I think that's what was funny.
And I was on park tyres too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was good. Well, I don't know if we should bother doing the quiz in this one.
How many minutes have we been going for?
33 minutes.
Yeah, this is done. The BMX pod.
This is a BMX podcast. So this is going to be called the BMX podcast. So, I don't know. It's been more fun talking crap than doing the quiz. I can see us not doing the quiz anymore sometime soon.
And if you've got an issue with that, listen to the old episodes again.
I'd probably just say if you've got an issue with that, just eat a dick. But yeah.
I wouldn't encourage that unless you're into that. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Well, anyway, this has been Sad Party.
Yeah, so if you go to psdunderwear.com.au for some cycling jocks.
Cycling jocks.
You can protect some dick.
Yes, exactly.
Mitch 2020 at the checkout, you save 25%.
Well, that's good.
You get backpacks, ladies stuff, whatever you
ladies backpacks?
Yeah, you could.
Are they different to men's backpacks?
They're bisexual.
They're bisexual, yeah, fair enough. So they speak more than one language.
That's bilingual, but that's fine.
Yeah, that swings both ways.
Mm.
Bilingual.
Like Glenn McGrath with the new ball.
I don't know, understand that
Cricket.
reference.
Cricket reference.
We had so much fun doing a BMX
Dude, you brought
podcast.
up
Nah, this is shit. Nah, this sucks.